When you are weaker, never fight for honor's sake. Choose surrender instead. Surrender gives you time to recover, time to torment and irritate your conqueror, and time to wait for his power to wane. Do not give him the satisfaction of fighting and defeating you. Surrender first. By turning the other cheek, you infuriate and unsettle him. Make surrender a tool of power. What gets us into trouble in the realm of power is often our own overreaction to the moves of our enemies and rivals. That overreaction creates problems we would have avoided had we been more reasonable. It also has a rebound effect, for the enemy overreacts as well. The conflict quickly escalates, and the situation gets out of hand. It is always our first instinct to react, to meet aggression with aggression. Try this instead. The next time someone pushes you and you find yourself starting to react, do not resist or fight back, but yield, turn the other cheek. You will find that this often neutralizes their behavior. They expected, even wanted you, to react with force. So they are caught off guard and confounded by your lack of resistance. By yielding, you in fact control the situation. Your surrender is part of a larger plan, to lull them into believing they have defeated you. This is the essence of the surrender tactic. Inwardly you stay firm, but outwardly you bend. When you don't react to your opponents, their anger turns into bewilderment. And they are unlikely to react with more violence. Instead, you are allowed time and space to plot countermoves that will bring them down. The power behind surrender is that it gives you the time and flexibility to plot a devastating counterblow. Played correctly, surrender can be a path to eventual victory. In the battle of the intelligent against the brutal and aggressive, the surrender tactic is the supreme weapon. It does, however, require self-control. Those who genuinely surrender give up their freedom, and may be crushed by the humiliation of their defeat. You have to remember that you only appear to surrender, like the possum that plays dead to save its hide. Faced with a more powerful opponent and sure defeat, it is often better to surrender than to run away. Running away may save you for the time being, but the aggressor will eventually catch up with you. Instead, if you surrender, you have the opportunity to coil around your enemy, and strike with your fangs from close up. When you are weaker, there is nothing to be gained by fighting a useless fight. Fighting gives you nothing to gain but martyrdom, and in the process a lot of people who do not believe in your cause will die. Understand that weakness is not a sin, and can even become a strength if you learn how to play it right. Surrender conceals great power. Lulling the enemy into complacency, it gives you time to recoup, time to undermine, time for revenge. Never sacrifice that time in exchange for honor in a battle you cannot win. Use surrender to gain access to your enemy. Learn his ways, insinuate yourself with him slowly. Outwardly conform to his customs, but inwardly maintain your own culture. He will consider you weak, and take no precautions against you. Meanwhile, you are using the time to catch up and surpass him, eventually emerging victorious. This soft, permeable form of invasion is often the best, for the enemy has nothing to react against, prepare for, or resist. Surrender can also offer a way of mocking your enemies. You can turn their power against them by being over-obedient, and making your oppressor look ridiculous. People trying to make a show of their authority are easily deceived by the surrender tactic. Your outward sign of submission makes them feel important. Satisfied that you respect them, they become easier targets for indirect ridicule, or for a later counterattack. Remember that power is always in flux. Those on top of the world today are on the downswing tomorrow. If you find yourself temporarily weakened, the surrender tactic is perfect for rising back to power. The pendulum will eventually swing back your way. Surrender will disguise your ambition. It teaches you patience and self-control, key skills in the game of power. And it puts you in the best possible position for taking advantage of your oppressor's sudden decline.